Hey love, it is your girl Brandy, your digital sensation. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome if this is your first time checking out my channel. This is my digital space of intimate audio and poetry, and it's also your safe space to explore, unlock, and feel deeply. So I thought it would be fun today to give you a little tour, a very chill channel tour of my YouTube channel. Got some LoFi in the background, so grab your favorite drink or cup of coffee or tea and just pull up and chill, hang, or just have me on in the background. But on top of giving a little tour, I'm going to share some of my favorite creations that I've shared on here, some of my favorite content that I've released, as well as a little get to know me. So haven't shared too much of that. But anyways, before we get started into the channel, I guess I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So like I said, my name is Brandy, and just the basics. I am a chill girl from Cali. I was born and raised in the San Francisco Bay Area. I was actually born in San Francisco, and I've lived all over the Bay Area all of my life. If you're familiar with the Bay Area, I've lived in the North Bay, the East Bay. I've lived on the peninsula, pretty much all over the Bay Area except for the South Bay. I have lived in other parts of the country, including Seattle, Washington, and Honolulu, Hawaii. But for the most part, I have lived in California. But I currently reside in the Bay Area right now for the time being. And I am a proud parent of my cat. Her name is Sammy. She is 10 years old. I can't believe she's already 10. And I'm a lover of nostalgia. I love music. I'm a creative nerd, content creator, and I'm a movie nerd, music nerd. I think I already said that. I'm an introvert and an empath. I love food, and I'm a homebody. So, but yeah, for the most part, I love to create. I've been creating content for the longest time. Oh, another thing, I'm a retired dance educator of 22 years. So that's a big thing that I forgot to input there. But yeah, I was dancing. I started dancing when I was 5, and I danced throughout my entire life. I don't dance so much anymore unless it's like, around the house, or like if it's at a party or like at a bar or whatever, which is rare. But I was a dance teacher. I was a dance educator. I went to college for dance. I used to perform, with groups here and there, and I've choreographed a number of dances in and out of the studio. So I've always been a creative, but long story short, backstory to my backstory, I am an only child, and I was raised by a single parent, my mom. And because I was raised by a single parent, she, was working a lot, to make sure that we were both provided for. And because of that, I was at home alone a lot. And it's funny because like my mom would always ask if I wanted to go over to like one of my friends so that I wouldn't be at home alone, or like my neighborhood friends would ask if I wanted to come out and play, but because I'm a homebody and I'm an introvert, us introverts, we like our solitude. I would always just say no, because I enjoyed being at home. I enjoyed just watching TV, listening to my music, playing cards, playing with my Barbies. And one of my favorite things that I loved to do is escape I love to put my headphones on and escape to different music and different artists. And I loved creating stories and fantasies in my head, music videos in my head, like endless fantasies in my head. I just loved exploring and tapping into my imagination. And that was my favorite thing to do. And I've always done that. And one of the main things that I always fantasized about was romance, relationships, and sex. Even as a young kid, I used to fantasize about all of this stuff. And it's just, evolved throughout my personal evolution. And that's basically I would say where Digital Sinsations came from, because I've constantly been creating fantasies and stories and stuff in my head. So it's great if you are into that, if you love exploring, if you love creating fantasies, and you're into romance, but not just romance, just into, like creating that deep love. I've always been a hopeful romantic and a believer in eternal love. I believe in love beyond death. And I've always just like fantasized, about having that dream person, that dream relationship, traveling to those dream destinations and just having that dream lifestyle, but most importantly with your dream life partner. And so I'll get into a little bit more about that, but that's basically where all of this creativity came from with Digital Sinsations. It's created with you in mind if you are a fantasizer like me. But yeah, through a series of events, there were some things that happened to me within the past 2.5 years where I was inspired to create this channel. But I'll get into more of that in a little bit. But with that being said, let me go ahead and hit record on my iPad. And we can tap into my channel. So here we are in the hub and my home page, Digital Sinsations. So if you haven't explored or any of this is basically the gist. This is my digital space of intimate audio and poetry. This is an 18 and over channel, so keep that in mind. But if you want to check out more of the about, you can go ahead and click on the about section. I pretty much explained it already. But let me just go ahead and start. I'll actually start with the shorts. So my shorts section, this is my collection of my love letters, love notes, my expressions of love. And it ranges from that cutesy, fuzzy, warm cuddle love to that dark, deviant love. Also self-love. And then there's, just erotic, a little bit of erotica in here. A lot of sensual. I mean, my channel is like pretty sensual. So, but yeah, this is my collection of my expressions of love. And this is actually, fun fact, this is actually where it all started. I gave you a little bit of the backstory, but when it came to sharing all of this stuff that had been floating around in my energetic field for all these years, this is actually where it started. But I didn't start it on YouTube. I actually started it on TikTok, which will be 2 years ago, this December. Yeah. I started these on TikTok, and my TikTok channel actually was called Letters to My Love. It was hashtag LTML. So I don't know if you saw any of that stuff, or if you heard, if like somebody shared that with you. But that was me, Letters to My Love. And through series of events, I brought all of my content to YouTube. So these shorts have definitely been around for quite some time. But I will share with you, actually, let me share with you one of my first shorts that I ever created. Let me see. Okay, let me put this on pause really quick. This is actually one of the first ones that I ever created, this one right here. Just watching these, it just takes me back. It really does. Let me see. Okay, I'll share with you one of my favorite ones, a few of my favorite ones. I love this one. I just think it's just very poetic with the music. If you're curious, the artist is, I forgot his name, John Fluker. And the song is called The Hollow Earth. But I just think it's very poetic with what I'm saying, and the pearls dropping with the music is just very beautiful. This is another one of my favorites. So, yeah, but the ones that I've shared so far were originally on TikTok. So they've been around for quite some time, but they're also, I mean, I love all of these. All of these are my original content. But, you know, there's just some that hit you differently than others. Let me share one more of a recent one. Oh, this one's cute. I love this one. I just think that's super cute. But yeah, so the shorts are perfect if you are looking for a quick pick-me-up, or if you're just one of those people that could just scroll, you know, that's what we do these days. If you just want to scroll through these and just, you know, just check out the vibe. It's also great if you want to share it with that special somebody, you know, so maybe you want to share something with somebody because you just feel that way about that person, and you want to share with them, but you don't really know how to execute your emotions. This is perfect for that. Or if you just want to share it for the fuck of it, go for it. But let me see. Let me do this one. Really quickly. So if you see a short that you like, feel free to give it some love, but go ahead and clicking up the thumbs up. And then if you want to leave a comment, you can go ahead and leave a comment right here. But if you want to share it, this is the share button that you would press, and then you can share it to your person. But this is a fun one too. Yes, self-love looks very sexy on you. Very sexy on you. All right, so now I'm going to come over here. Let's get our music back on. Come over here to my videos section. So my videos are actually a collection of my audios. So this is where my intimate audios are. However, my intimate audios are broken down into a number of categories, including intimate audio, long distance, and spicy audio. So depending on whatever vibe you want to tap into, you can go ahead and, just look at the title and it will tell you what kind of audio it is. So these are a few requested audios, but this one right here is a spicy audio, the self-love stimulation. But if you want to just tap into a specific category just alone, you can come over here and click on playlists and then scroll and just click on the playlists that you want to listen to. So if you want to listen to something more inspirational, you would click on the inspo audios, and this will have all of the inspo audios in my collection. However, just a quick note, on the home page, we're back on the home page, I've already put some of the featured playlists on the home page. So we have intimate audios, and then scrolling down we have LDR series, which is long distance, and then some requested audios. So I will actually share with you some of my most played audios, and they are actually in the requested section. Some are in the, one is in the intimate audio. I'll go ahead and pull that one up. But let me see. This requested audio, Your Girlfriend Comforts You After a Seizure, Part 1. This is actually one of my most played audios right now. I don't know why. It just took off, and I thank you for tapping in and sharing it, but this is definitely one of my most played. So it's interesting because this was actually requested from one of our members. Thank you for requesting, love. And I actually had a lot of anxiety sharing this because I've never been in a relationship with somebody that has had seizures or like any kind of like major health complications. So I was just like, how do I even like tap into this space? And so it was very challenging to like come up with the script and to just allow it to, flow through me. But then, so basically when I have an idea, I'll get an idea and I'll be like, oh my gosh, that's good. But then sometimes the script, like the dialogue, will come to me right away. But then other times it'll take a minute for it to flow through me. So I don't ever force it. Otherwise it just doesn't feel natural, or the shit just won't pop, right? But with this one, it definitely took a minute. But once it did, it was just flowing through me. And then just, everything just came through. And then obviously there's a part 2. But this is actually a very popular one as well. Obviously, because you want to see what's going to happen. But yeah, those are pretty dope audios. But my most played audio is actually, where is it? Where are you? Oh, it's this one. You walking on your woman, massaging her. And I know it's because I leave a cliffhanger on the title, but this is my most played audio. But they're all really good. I would say one of my favorites, I mean, I love them all. They're all my babies. Fuck. I don't know. I will definitely say one of my favorite ones is definitely the self-love stimulation one, just because it's self-love affirmations, but it's a lot steamier than like your standard self-love affirmation audio that you've listened to, or at least that I've listened to. It's a little more sensual. It's a little bit more deeper. It's definitely 18 and over, but that's why I love it so much. And, it's just all about that self-love. We're all about that self-love here. So if you're into that, you should definitely tap more into it and check out that audio. But I feel like there was something I was going to share about these. Oh, one more thing I did want to say. So, like I said, this is an 18 and over channel. So do keep that in mind. And the majority of my content, the majority of my audios is safe for work. Some of them can be a little bit more suggestive, but for the most part, they are safe for work. However, if you're looking for something that's a little bit more, NSFW or just takes you there, or if you just want a little bit more like sensual, like deeper, I do have a space for that. But if you're not into that now, that's totally fine. There's no pressure, right? But all of my exclusive content, all of my NSFW content is on my Patreon. So you can the link to my Patreon is in every single audio bio, if you ever get curious. However, if you just want to go ahead and check it out for the fuck of it, you can click the link directly from the homepage. So we'll go there really quickly. And okay. So this is my Patreon, what I call Digital Sinsations 2.0, your safe space for sexual liberation. And I'll get into that a little bit more. But this is my Patreon. So you do have to be a member to listen to it. However, there are 3 tiers to choose from. What's cool about the tiers is that each tier comes with its own exclusive merch that you can get after being a member for X amount of months. So that's super fun. I actually have a Digital Sinsations hoodie, and it's so clean. Love, it is so clean. So, but the only way that you can get one, the only way that you can rock it is if you become a member. So these are all of my audios. Some of the audios, including this one, the long distance dinner date, is included on YouTube, but for the most part, all of these audios are exclusive. So some of them you can preview and listen to it for a few minutes, depending on the length of the audio. But in order to hear all of them, in order to hear the locked ones, you would have to upgrade and become a member. And then if you want to get an idea more about what the page is, you can just come over and click on the About section. So this is pretty much it. Learn to embrace your freak and honor your sexuality inside my exclusive world of fantasy and divine pleasure. Side effects include throbbing, sexual healing, and warm sensations of unconditional self-love. Listen at your own risk. So, yeah, that is my Patreon. So, a tiny little backstory of Digital Sinsations, like the audios, the spicy content, as well as the Patreon, and why I created this space, this safe space to explore your sexuality, unlock your sexuality, and, feel deeply. So like I said, I've always been a dreamer. I've always fantasized about romance, relationships, and sex. But a huge reason why I always fantasized about that is because it's just who I am. It's my nature. But it's also because I was never taught about sex or sensuality or just relationships. I never had that one-on-one conversation with my parents. And there was never any conversations about that stuff within my household. And if it was talked about, it was always talked about, oh, well, you need to make sure that you're married, or, there was always some not negativity around it, but it just really wasn't talked about. And it was kind of like hush hush, because my parents, it was never talked about in their household, so it's just kind of one of those generational things that's passed down that you don't realize until you're faced with it. So a few years ago, I did touch on this. I started my own personal self-love journey. I didn't even know that it was a self-love journey, but I started doing a shit ton of inner work, and I faced a lot of stuff within myself that I didn't realize was preventing me from finding that deep love within myself, finding that self-love within myself. And I learned that a lot of things that were preventing me from having a deeper relationship with myself and finding deeper love within myself was my own ignorance and shame around me, around my body, around my sexual nature, around my sensuality. And after I started to open that door up and answer or ask questions, just a lot of answers came up, and I realized a lot of the shit, the fear, the shame, the ignorance I had around sexuality wasn't mine. It was passed down to me from, my ancestors, my family, and religion, because I grew up in church. So I'm not religious or anything now. I don't attend church. I don't even remember the last time I attended church. I'm not knocking religion or anything, but, there's just a lot of that, just like that dogmatic preaching around sex and how sex is only for two people. It's only for after you get married. And yes, I do believe that sex is this very, very, very sacred thing, especially now that I'm more in tune with my body, in tune with my sexuality and my sensuality. But at the same time, just telling people like you shouldn't do this because it's a sin in order to stop people from doing that, I don't agree with that. So I just started opening up, to myself, and I became more comfortable, and I started to learn and understand that, self-pleasure, all of that stuff, it's not a sin. I think it's actually very healthy, and it's very important, to understand your body, understand your needs and your wants, what your body likes, what your body doesn't like. Because if you don't know what you like, and if you don't know what you feel comfortable with, how in the hell are you going to feel that way with somebody else? So, just side note, I am not a sex expert. I am not a sex educator. This is just my own personal thoughts. So with that being said, after I became more educated, aware, and just healthy around my sensuality and my sexuality, and just opening up to myself, I realized there's probably a lot of other people that are dealing with the same issue, just tapping into this and that. So one of the main reasons, or one of the main catalysts that inspired me to tap deeper into myself, was actually listening to an SFW, erotic audio. So I got pretty heavy into that about 2.5 years ago. And this just basically opened up Pandora's box for me. And so that was basically the another inspiration behind Digital Sinsations and my Patreon, Digital Sinsations 2.0. So yeah, but anyways, that is my channel, and that's pretty much all I had to share. Just wanted to do a chill channel tour with a little bit of a get to know me. So that's pretty much it. So if you do have any questions, let me know. Let me know where you're tapping in from. I would love to hear. This space may or may not be for you, but if you want to subscribe, I would love for you to subscribe and become an official member, join our family, join our community. Like I said, this is your safe space to explore, unlock, and feel deeply. So this is a judgment-free zone, and I do not tolerate any bullying or bashing of any kind. So if you do see any of that, let me know and I will take care of that. If I do see any of that, just FYI, you will be blocked. So I just don't tolerate any of that shit. this is a space, like I said, to explore, tap in, and, just get to know yourself, maybe not get to know yourself on here, but, be inspired to take that deeper plunge with yourself, because that is the way to self-love. It is one of the ways to self-love. So, and that is what I'm all about. But other than that, that is pretty much it. So I will call this video a night. And thank you for tapping in. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here and being a part of our family. And wherever you are, remember that you are loved and you are love. I'll talk with you next time.